Not the right lip gloss, but it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. I promise it's gonna be okay. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. Hey, folks, I fear it is already that time again. It is the end of the month, and at the end of every month, for the most part, I try to share my top 5 favorite fragrances with you all, and it is yet that time again. As per usual, of course, we're going to deep dive into my top 5 for the month of August. Come on, bars. But before we dive into my favorites, you already know to make sure that you are subscribed and make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss when I upload another video. After subscribing, turning those post notifications on and setting them to all so you don't miss when I post the next upload or when I post a little deal. Make sure you give this video a big fat thumbs up because it's free and it really goes a long way to help support the channel and help us to grow. Last but not least, never ever forget, if you are interested in trying or buying any of the fragrances that we discussed in today's video, to make sure to shop via any available links and or discount codes down below in the description box, because it really helps support the channel. And let me hold your hand when I say this. You already know you're gonna buy it anyway. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I'm actually about to head out and we'll discuss my scent of the day later on in the video because yeah, it's included. Now, if you're interested in knowing my top 5 favorite fragrances for the month of August, make sure you keep watching. Starting off with number 5 for the month of August. This is one that I got a few months ago. It was a blind buy because of who I am as a person. And I picked up a travel spray of Dead Cool's Mochi Milk. I want to say maybe during the VIB sale. I picked this and the Guava Granita from Ellis Brooklyn up, but that got returned. This, however, as you can see, I am still wearing. I have to tell you all that this was actually going to be included in a month of favorites previously, but that was during, you know, my monthly favorites hiatus a few months back. But this has been revisited and it's just been perfect, specifically for bedtime. If you are not new to the channel, you know that I'm going to very likely at least get my nose on a fragrance when there is peach involved. And once a mutual on TikTok mentioned peach being one of the notes, I had to have it. In conjunction to some peach, there is some sandalwood, some vanilla. So it's cozy, it's sweet, it's fluffy, and there's a starchiness to it. If I'm not mistaken, there is rice or rice milk in it. So while it's creamy, it's not in like a, you know, like ice creamy type of way. It's more of like a airy, fluffy, powdery, musky type of way. Not to mention, if I'm not mistaken, there is some incense in this, and we have talked about incense incessantly on the channel. This is an incense that just makes this linger in the air along with that sandalwood in a really just transparent, just addictive, intoxicating way. Again, perfect for bed, but I have worn this out and about. This layers well, and yes, this is definitely a similar, you know, sweet, vanillic, airy, marshmallowy DNA similar to Bougie Marshmallow from Kayali. But because of that sandalwood and that incense, this just smells different. Not to mention that starchiness. I find that this gives gourmand, but in a more perfumey way and in a more subdued way, in a less like obvious way than Young Bougie Marshmallow. I don't still have a preference between the two, especially with the DNA being so similar. I enjoy them both, honestly, but frankly, this month, especially with the weather just being so weird and me not feeling my best, this has just been great to reach for. Whether it's warm or even if it's slightly cooler like the weather has been lately. If you've been getting thunderstorms every night like here in Maryland, it's delicious without doing too much. Not to mention, in the grand scheme of the market, in my opinion, this is a pretty affordable price point. And this travel spray in particular is not the traditional 8 to 10 milliliters. This is actually 15 milliliters. And you know what I'm saying? You really get a lot of bang for your buck, in my opinion. And again, this is just sweet but clean girl at the same time, if that makes sense. Clean person, because I don't feel like this leans one way or another. As you can see from my dent, I have really been enjoying this travel spray, and I definitely want to explore other fragrances from the house. I know Extra Milk, especially during this kind of, you know, transitional weather period, is really popular, and they have a couple of other scents that I'm interested in getting my nose on from this house. But definitely been really enjoying Dead Cool's Mochi Milk during this weirdo weather and during this Mercury retrograde. So again, number 5 for the month of August goes to Dead Cool's Mochi Milk. Moving on to number 4 for the month. This actually honestly should have been included in the last fragrance haul that I posted on my channel, but due to this being back ordered and come to find out discontinued, Byredo's Sundays. I actually got a tester bottle from Joma Shop, which is why it's in this weirdo bottle, but I got it for a great price. But this is Byredo's Sundays, a wish list item that I checked off several weeks ago, which is why it should have been included in the last haul. But, you know, again, it was back ordered, and, you know, they took every bit of that 4 weeks to get it to me. Even though it is the tail end of summer, I have been wearing this since I got it, okay? Which hasn't necessarily been that long, which is why it's not higher up on the list. But still, this is one I just needed. I started with a sample of this that I got from Twisted Lily. I'll make sure I have a link and discount code down below in the description box for samples, full-size bottles. But again, this scent, as far as I know, has been discontinued. Regardless, this is just summertime happiness. You have to be a citrus fan. This is very zesty, zingy, lemony, okay? Very pucker your mouth type tart, okay? Some people may feel like this is getting cleaner, and you're not wrong, but the way that this citrus is not only blended with, you know, that musky, woody Byredo-ness, there's also some cotton candy in this. I don't know all the notes, but I know that this just smells like lemon cotton candy. It is airy, it is light, it is sweet, it is pleasant, and in the few times that I've worn it already, I have gotten a little compliment. Another effortless, easy, just happy reach. This one specifically, I feel like is definitely more spring, summer, but especially summer. Warm skin is needed for this. It's subtle, summery sunshine, because we love alliteration here. But much like her sister, Mojave Ghost, while it's light, I still am enjoying this for a portion of the day, a significant portion of the day, where I find it worth investing in. It's just good. It just makes me feel happy. It makes me feel pretty. It is a mood boosting scent for sure, and perfect for a scorching hot summer day. Technically, we have about another month left at the time of me filming this video before it's summer, but you know, with climate change, who knows, I may be able to enjoy this fragrance, you know, much longer. And when I tell you I'm going to savor every living moment that I have left with this fragrance, I'm going to be wearing this out. I've already been wearing this out, but I'm going to be wearing it out even more just because of how it makes me feel. If you have not gotten your nose on this one from Byredo, I know that Byredo is a very controversial, polarizing house. I know that some people just don't find it worth it. Some people don't enjoy the performance or respect or appreciate the performance, the price point. I understand all of that, but if you haven't, I highly recommend getting your nose on this. I'm so grateful that I was able to check this off of the wish list after quite some time. But number 4 for the month of August has got to go to a new addition in my collection, Byredo's Sundays. Moving on to number 3 for the month of August, we've been talking about this one since I got it in the mail. If you want to see my first impressions, unboxing, all of that, make sure you check the cards. I'll have that video linked up top. But number 3 for the month of August, and actually today's scent of the day, is Jackie Asamoah's new release from her brand Forever Mood. She was here. As you can see, my little travel spray is nearing the end. I sprayed this on because I'm about to head out today, and what can I say? Jackie did her big one with this one. I'm not going to spray it on a tester strip because I already have it on skin. We've talked about this one before as well, but if you don't remember, this starts off really bright, tart, fresh, happy with some pomegranate, and that's not a fruity note that we see really regularly when it comes to fragrances, especially the fragrances that we see in, you know, a Sephora type of environment. So already Jackie is coming out the gate with some uniqueness. In conjunction with that tart but subtly sweet fruitiness from that pomegranate, we have some elemi. There's also some rose, some vanilla milk, some suede. This is so freaking well blended. This, in my opinion, is a fragrance that is niche quality, is giving luxury for less, and is unique and layered enough to, you know, cater to some snobby noses while at the same time not being too complex. It's still like user friendly. You know what I'm saying? It's still wearable. It's not too hard to understand. It's one that takes you on a ride throughout the wear in a really, really good way. Like, it's beautiful and it makes a statement and leaves a trail. And like I said, it does get compliments without doing too much. It is definitely a more moderate wear, but at the same time, I'm getting performance and longevity from this. And let me just tell you, I layered this with a fragrance that I just told you about in my most recent haul that I got from Quinn, the Sol de Janeiro 62. I don't know the number, but the Eau de Parfum, the pistachio on that mixed with the pistachio in this, I think that has some caramel, some vanilla, that gourmandness while still having like a light airiness to it, mixed with this milky, rosy, powdery, sexy, fruity, flirty goodness, was a fantastic time. And my coworker lost her mind. She said, "Oh girl, your perfume smells so good." I don't know what to say. This is definitely my favorite from the Forever Mood line. I do still want others from the line, but this is definitely going to be the priority for a full-size bottle whenever it comes back in stock. Speaking of which, when they had their little restock, I actually tried to get me a full-size bottle because my travel spray is nearing the end of life. And because I couldn't, I wound up getting a whole nother travel spray because that was all that y'all left in stock. So I at least have me another travel spray to hold me over until the full-size bottle comes back in stock. But this is just for the girl that knows who she is. This just really speaks to the place where I am in my life. You know what I'm saying? This just gives, I'm that girl. I know I'm that girl, but I don't need to say that I'm that girl because everybody already know I'm that girl. This gives that. This is not a loud, screaming, boisterous scent, but this is one that lasts in the air and just smells beautiful and just sure, just confident. Okay, you enjoy gourmands, but you want something a little extra, a little more sophisticated. You enjoy florals, specifically rose, and you are a vanilla fan, I couldn't recommend getting your nose on this any faster. Not to mention, this is not a price point that we see for fragrances, and she's Black woman owned, Black woman founded. Get your nose on this one if you haven't. Number 3 for the month and today's scent of the day has to go to Forever Moods. She Was Here. Got a backup before I even got a bottle, but moving on to the next one in the lineup. Number 2 for the month of August is another newbie in the collection, but has been a long time wish list item. This is not a new release, and this is actually a really popular and beloved fragrance in the fragrance community. This is Initio's Musk Therapy. And again, if you saw my lighting's not going to be very welcoming for this, but if you saw my most recent fragrance haul, which should be linked up in the cards already, you know that we just added this one in the collection. This, I'm not going to spray it on a tester strip because it's expensive and I love it. Obviously, it's number 2 for the month. Initio's Musk Therapy is exactly that. Starts off really bright, fresh, it's citrusy, but there's also some black currant in it. So gives it some fruitiness, a little fruitiness in conjunction with that fresh, zingy citrus. Also some florals in this. I think some white florals, really soft, dainty. And as you might imagine, a lot of musk. I think there's some sandalwood in this as well. Very subtle, airy, fluffy. This is a cloud of musk. But make no mistake about it, even with that kind of, seemingly delicate note structure, this packs a punch. This ain't no punk. You know what I'm saying? This could make the passive aggressive list, as I have told you all previously. You smell like very fresh, very clean. This lasts for 7 to 10 business days on my skin, but it's not a screamer at the same time. This, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say this is probably an 8, and it's definitely amplified when it's on some warm skin, some heat, sun. Oh my God, it's so freaking beautiful. This smells expensive, but easy and effortless at the same time. I have loved this since Denise sent me a decant of it, and it was high time for me to go ahead and add this to my collection. A summer staple, a summer must-have as far as I'm concerned. But frankly, I'm probably going to be wearing this all freaking year just because I can. You know what I'm saying? Because I can. This is one that is going to be able to perform in all 4 seasons, but it's absolutely a standout in warmer weather. I just, want to make that note. If you enjoy smelling clean, but not soapy, if you enjoy a more powdery approach to smelling fresh, Musk Therapy is one that you have got to get your nose on. There is a reason that this be selling out. There's a reason that everybody be talking about this. There's a reason that this is so popular, especially during the summer months. This is a head turner. This is a compliment getter. And I am so glad that I went ahead and upgraded my decant to the big daddy of this fragrance. This is expensive, but in my opinion, absolutely worth the price point, not only because of the experience, but just how it makes me feel. Perfect to wear to the office. I wore this when traveling with friends to New York one day. It's just good. 10 out of 10 will highly recommend. So glad I was finally able to scratch this one off the wish list, and definitely one that I have been wearing out and will continue to wear out, especially during these scorching hot summer days, but it's what's left of them anyway. But again, this is number 2 for the month of August, Initio's Musk Therapy. Now, this month I didn't really have a not so fave because I didn't do too much testing or sampling. With the weather kind of being all over the place, I just kind of went with what I knew. Number 1 for the month of August, I feel like those of you who are regulars to the channel already know what it is, but just in case you are new here, this is a new addition to the collection and is a new launch for this house. This is from the house of Amouage, and this is Existence. Nobody's surprised by this at all whatsoever. Oh my God, this came in kicking the doors down. Okay, if you have been tuned in, you may remember this started off as a sample, and I couldn't wait. I had to go ahead and buy me a full-size bottle. This is a top not only for the month of August, but for the year of 2025. I told y'all this in a recent video, and I meant it. Not only is this the most beautiful, powdery, soapy, fresh, clean Lily of the Valley rose fragrance, this also gives me remnants of Guidance, also from the house of Amouage, also from the very same nose, Quentin Biche. Like, this just gives a much more approachable, wearable, still polarizing, but this is definitely a much more palatable experience to Guidance, to me, and to a number of you as well, per the comments since I've been talking about this fragrance, which has been non-freaking stop. So obviously it's number 1 for the month. I have worn this to the office. I have worn this in the house. I have worn this to church. Me and Existence have been going places, and I gotta tell you, we're gonna keep going places together. This It just makes me feel really beautiful, put together, clean, classy, okay? It smells expensive, and I know some people might not agree with this, but to me, this just smells unique and just captivating. I can't get enough of this. And you see, I'm not spraying this on no tester strip. I keep telling y'all this could make the passive aggressive list. Maybe it's about time I do that video, because this is a potent, powerful, projecting perfume, okay? You have not gotten your nose on this, especially if you are a floral, fresh lover, and you are, you know, not opposed to, you know, a little spicy, resinous, expensive, luxurious amouage kick to a freshie. You got to get your nose on this one. Can't recommend it enough. I'll make sure I have links and discount codes for samples, because this is not a safe blind buy, but you know, do what you do. This is in the running for being the #1 amouage fragrance in my collection. Not even gonna hold you. An absolute 10 out of 10. I'm absolutely going to be taking this from summer into fall, and probably into the winter as well, just because this can stand on business. This feels like it can cut through some. You know what I'm saying? Of course, we're gonna have to see, but a 10 out of 10 will highly recommend. This is intoxicating, it's addictive, a compliment getter, a performer, and it's got a little crack in it, which is why it is #1 for the month, and honestly in the ranking for being top for the entire year for me. Again, new addition in the collection, and #1 for the month of August has to go to Amouage Existence. All right, folks, I'm running late. I need to get up out of here, so I'm glad we finally wrapped up today's favorites video. Definitely sound off in the comments. Let me know your top 5 favorite fragrances for the month of August. Let me know if we have any in common, or if you're interested in trying any of the fragrances that we talked about today. And of course, if you are interested in trying or buying any of the fragrances that we discussed today, make sure to shop via any available links and or discount codes down below in the description box, because it really helps me out. After commenting on this video on your way to watching another video of mine, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. Please be safe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Let me try to get a thumbnail. Now see, I tried to have a plan and rank these, but I low-key feel like I might need to switch some things around. Make it enough.